So I came across those today, and in the morning I had a conversation with Dad. And when I was like, there's no point of talking. And he started talking emotionally. It's been a long time. He didn't ask for a new dress to buy, new book to buy. Why do I feel like I'm fed up of emotional talk? I, by the end of the day, home to office, office to home, back in the box. I realized there's no point of talking when you don't share same values. Like I don't like um focus on doing something. But then that comes and you're like every time I'm there, on your screen there's cartoons. There's a hell of a difference between cartoons and anime. But then again, I'm like, why am I getting irritated by external factors? And I got so angry. I got too angry. And I trying to calm myself. So, long story short, let's start. So, I came across this lady around noon today. That was intriguing. Alchemist, the link between alchemist, mystic, seeker, Sufi, don't know what it is, psycho spiritual paradigm. That was for me. I'm trying to understand the psyche, the psychology, the link between psychology, what else? So that's her page. You can tell how much internal shame someone has by how judgmental they are. I never thought from that angle. We Pakistani are too proudy. Like we have, just because we are Muslims, we follow so-called Islam, we have the right to judge. We have the right to become God. You can tell how much internal shame someone has by how judgmental they are. So, this is her Substack. That's what I wanted to share. Just show you. Then, this post I wanted to share of her and her Instagram. Just showing you. You wanna hear me out or you wanna hear her? Just go and read, just in case if you are interested in this. The woman who became the first female saint in the Sufi mystical tradition. Seeker, alchemist, mystic, Sufi, psycho-spiritual paradigms. So that's her. Enter the unseen, Gina, nauman. And that's another one. Post that I wanted to share. Focus on aligning with your higher self. Everything else is extra. Okay. What else I came across today? Yeah, he shared two stories. I wanted to share that. The conscious awakening. Maybe his stories are still there. Yes, no, no, it's not. Okay, good. I took the screenshot. Okay, so and the third one was this. I still do not understand this Christos oil seminal retention. spinal cord, this fluid, but this is what I wanted to share, his writing, his description. Okay. And his profile, just in case. No, not opening. Okay, it's not opening. Apologies. Let's go to the slides. I'm just trying to cool myself down. Why am I getting irritated that much? I've shown you this. Okay, this is her first post. I like her description. Like it kind of made sense into my inner. The axis of madness. The axis of mysticism is a fine line, thin line. If you know, you know. Madness and mysticism. In the Sufi mystical tradition, purification of mind leads to the purification of heart, mind and heart, which is the goal of Sufis. Hazrat Inayat Khan, Sufi mystic, described relationship between the mind and the heart accordingly. It should be known that the mind is the surface of the heart. Imagine, visualize your heart. So its surface is the mind. And the heart is the depth of the mind. Therefore, mind and heart are one and the same thing. If you call it a mirror, then the mind is the surface of the mirror and the heart is that. In the same mirror, all is reflected. However, no amount of purification of the heart will lead to its alignment with the mind if our mind itself is clogged by impurities. 1. Weak in its discipline, 2. And foggy with cognitive pollution. Purification of mind then requires cleaning those impurities, sometimes agonizingly plucking them out one by one, and that can be quite maddening and disturbing. We become confronted with our neuroticism, our paranoias, our mental illnesses, harmful cognitive implants, ways of thinking that obstruct rather than clarify. Clarity versus confusion. Another thought forms that have kept us company for so long. We face our inner demons head on. We see the sinister faces of what we had allowed to lurk in our head space. Our instabilities come to the fore. And unlike modern clinical psychotherapeutic approaches, the mystical approach is a deeply embodied process. It requires feeling through things, revisiting those things, and tussling with them in a way that seemingly drops us down into hell. So, yeah, heaven and hell are within us. They are planes of consciousness. Then, what about the heaven and hell that Islam says after Day of Judgment? Heaven feels like clarity, mystic, relaxation. I want to text her. Let me just text her. Okay. Heaven and hell are within us and planes of consciousness. Then what about the Islam, the day of judgment, and after that, heaven and hell? Though it never makes sense to me, like keep suffering in this world and everything will be fine after day of judgment. Like, what's the point? Heaven feels like clarity. Okay. Heaven feels like clarity, mystic, relaxation, calm. Hell inside our mind feels like exact opposite. Confusion, paranoia, instability, fear, shame, reliving the trauma imprints. Sometimes things so unbearable, it drives you nuts. But you have to war with the hell inside your mind. You must burn that in that purgatory of your own creation before all that is false is incinerated. There's so much wisdom gleaned in those bouts of insanity, that relief that you feel when the purifying purge is over, the newfound mental clarity. Oh, if I want that clarity. You possess, that's called wisdom, that newfound mental clarity. You possess, that's called wisdom. Okay. I loved her name, the way it's written in English Urdu, the lighter one, from right to left, and her English that you can easily read. Every mystic has walked through the deepest pits of hell. The alchemist, the Negrido, Citrinitas stuff. So every mystic has walked through the deepest pits of hell, all of it psychological plus metaphysical manifestations, in order to learn how to climb to the plane of consciousness that is heaven. So that is initiation. Initiation. There's a secret door between mental instability and a mystic wisdom. Each descent into madness and pain is an initiation. To fight for your insanity is to enter the fire of alchemy. To fight for your insanity is to enter the fire of alchemy, the burning. If we submit to the fire and let it burn away our expired ideas on what sanity is, we pass the round of initiation. The whole universe is summed up in the human being. Okay, makes sense. The devil is not a monster waiting to trap us. It is the voice inside. Look for your devil in yourself, not in others. Don't forget that the one who knows their devil knows their God. Okay, right now I'm doing that. Looking for devil outside myself. Why does that has to emotionally talk? Why does that comment, trigger me? So I'm blaming him. I'm thinking he's the problem, external, outside of me. But it's not. It's something inside me. Okay. One mistake I get of today is my 24 hours. So don't forget that the one who knows their devil knows their God. Okay, Shams Tabrizi. It's really interesting, Shams Tabrizi. There's also this Turkish season of Shams Tabrizi. Should I put it here? Yeah, I should put it here. Mm, it was Rumi Turkish season. Gosh, it's hard to sit on a carpet. Oh, when did that happen? I have no idea. Season 3 of Milana Rumi? Oh, boy. Okay. What do you do? Okay. Yeah, Turkish season and Rumi. I don't know why I don't remember that. Hi. Heaven and hell are planes of consciousness. Okay. That exist right here, right now. Your decisions define the plane you live in. So it's my decision that last 24 hours, the hell. Every single one of us is constantly presented with spiritual test. Okay, so morning and 7 p.m. was a spiritual test that caused us to oscillate between planes. Moving with love is how you anchor in heaven. I'm stuck, like, how to love those people with who are stuck in their limited variance. How to lessen that distance between me and my parents. Why am I stuck? Why can't I see? What am I missing? Definitely missing something. No tree can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. Carl Jung, of course. Yeah, that's what I liked about her so far, what I read on her page, Substack and Instagram. The connection between Carl Jung, the Rumi, the Shams Tabriz, Hazrat Inayat Khan, uh, Know Yourself. So yeah, lots of madness are moments of initiation. Okay. I have a love-hate relationship with triggers. They can be intensely uncomfortable and drag you to the pits of hell in an instant. But if you embrace them, identify their pattern, and alchemize their root cause. Identify the pattern, one, and alchemize root cause. You are forever transformed and propelled into your highest vibrational timeline. You are forever transformed into your highest vibrational timeline. Nothing has made me more sane than the lessons gleaned from the moments I made my descent into insanity, Gina Nauman. Wisdom is often confused with madness, and the wisdom that can only be found with madness is often overlooked. The ones who are truly wise are those who know how to guard and gatekeep their madness like the precious jewel it is. Wow, no, no, no. I am in you, I am in you, and I am you. No one can understand this until he has lost his mind. Jalaluddin Rumi and Shams Tabriz. Is this that what that ending was? Okay. Her second one, I like in this, I guess, about her five dimension. Okay, okay, okay. So, ask the mystics, across the spiritual traditions. They will tell you the highest form of knowledge is knowledge of the self, know thyself. And in my own personal practice, I have found alignment with the self is the most powerful act. It heals you, clarifies you, refines you, liberates you. It's also a deeply mystical process. Once you begin the process of effacing the false self in order to unveil the true self, you find you have entered into an alchemical portal into the unseen. Mysterious esoteric journey begins to unfold. Your intuition reveals itself with clarity. Synchronicities appear everywhere. Your intuition reveals itself with clarity. Synchronicities appear everywhere. Your spiritual eyesight opens. Third eye. You start to trust yourself. I've read hundreds of words on the topic, investigated it from hundreds of angles from my own experience of endless cycles of death rebirth from the depths of psychology writings of Carl Jung and other Jungian psychoanalysis from a Quranic Islamic perspective, from a Sufi mystical perspective, from a Western spirituality, 3D versus 5D self perspective, from the perspective of emotional feeling, and just understanding what it means to be yourself, from teaching and coaching clients on how to align with who they really are, from training, learning, and practicing energy healing modalities. Clear the karmic debris of the false self, and still none of it fully does the phenomena of the knowing the yourself, knowing the self-justice is something that has to be felt and known for what it is. It is a wildly intimate, unique personal process for each person. Knowledge of the self, as it turns out, is infinite, never ending. This post and these writings are just a few of my many more to come on the topic of aligning with the self. And you, when will you begin that long journey into yourself? So, the second conclude is focus on aligning with your higher self. Like, that's the purpose of life, knowing yourself. Everything else is extra distraction. The more you annihilate the false self, the more you bring higher self online. The real you is untouchable and can never be annihilated. It can only be hidden behind the layers of things it is not. One who knows his self knows his Lord. من عرف نفسه فقد عرف ربه. Well, the more you show up as your authentic self, the less you have to explain yourself. And the more your embodiment just speaks for itself. So the more I explain myself, that means I'm showing less authentic self. Hmm. When you're in total alignment with your higher self, 5D self, or God self, or angelic self, or simply your soul, you experience mind-blowing levels of miraculous synchronicities that will feel surreal. The degree of synchronicity we experience is often as an indication of how aligned we are at a given moment in time. Makes sense. I begin to understand that the goal of psychic development is the self. There is no linear evolution. There is only circumambulation of the self, the way we blindly do of the cover. Uniform development exists at most at the beginning. Later, everything points towards the center. This insight gave me stability gradually, and gradually my inner peace returned. Stability. With stability comes inner peace. Categorizing ourselves into someone we are not defies the nature. Not being your authentic self is an attack on Mother Nature. Enforcing paradigms that force us to disrespect our own nature is the spiritual root behind why our world has normalized disrespecting the earth as status quo. Makes sense? Being authentic to who you truly are is some of the most crucial liberation work you'll ever do. Each time you free yourself from everything it is not, it spurs the revolution of the self, which spurs the collective revolution. The more we free ourselves, the more we can free others. Free others? Okay. Who are you when you are running all the emotions and the energies you accidentally absorb from other people? Who are you when you are not playing out all the unconscious programming you learned from your upbringing? Who are you when you question what you have been taught not to question? Who are you when you are regurgitating dogma? Who are you when you are inheriting beliefs out of fear of ostracization? Who are you when you don't conform to your community? You will find yourself there. Makes sense. Okay, that's our Instagram. I like these lines. That's how I feel about the energies of. It's really funny talking to a Punjabi Pakistani man talking, just because you're a man doesn't mean you just have a masculine energy. You have both energies. No, I'm a masculine, so I just have one energy. Man being the first aspect of manifestation is the more spiritual and nearer to God. Woman being the next manifestation is finer and more capable of divine knowledge. Man's natural tendency is towards God, while woman's tendency is towards the world. These contrary tendencies result in balance. Therefore, man needs woman to direct his life. Woman needs man for her guidance and protection, both being incomplete in themselves. This is oh sorry, I forgot to show. This is from her this story books. And from there was this link of this website. It's about teaching of Hazrat Inayat Khan. From here I just wanted to show this. In the future we will eliminate the soul with medicine, another pretext of a healthy point of view. There will be a vaccine by which the human body will be treated as soon as possible directly after his birth or her birth so that the human being can't develop the thought of the existence of soul and spirit. So with the age of Aquarius, what these vaccines, medicines are failing or what? Why people, at least like me, are searching madly for the answers that the religion has been failed to answer. The materialistic doctors will be entrusted the task of removing the soul of humanity. So in future, children will be vaccinated with substance that can be produced precisely in such a way that people, thanks to this vaccination, will be immune to being subjected to the madness of spiritual life. He would be extremely smart, but he would not develop a conscience, though it's Zamir. And really? And that is the true goal of some materialistic circles. With such a vaccine, you can easily make the etheric body lose in the physical. Once the etheric body is detached, the relationship between the universe and the etheric body would become extremely unstable, and man would become an automation. Feel like it, automaton. For the physical body of man must be polished on this earth by spiritual will, so the waxing becomes a kind of Ahimanic force. Man can no longer get rid of a given materialistic feeling. He becomes materialistic of constitution and can no longer rise to the spiritual. Well, no brainer. Rudolf Steiner, Waxen prediction, 1861 to 1925. Look at the prediction from the Rudolf Steiner from over 100 years ago, very prophetic and profound. Yeah, that was his story that I was trying to find. Then this book, Word Magic, the power and occult definition of words. I knew this, the morning, morning. So the morning, the word morning is a homophone for morning, which means grieving, good grieving, when you say good morning. Okay? You would not want to start the day with good grieving, so instead he's saying grand rising. Then what else he's saying? This prayer cast a spell to make people defeated, lost, hopeless, to feel like they suffered a loss, even if they didn't suffer a loss. These and many other spell casting words weaken your psyche. Yeah, I really want to understand the mind and psyche. Another spell casting word is weak. 5 days, 7 days a week. So that is like weak. You go to work at your job. That was intriguing. Job means persecution. We go to a persecution. No wonder the energy is multiplied by zero. All week, phonetically. Week. To earnings. To earn, URN, holds the issues of the dead. You check your check and you can't wait for the weekend to earn your check, and you can't wait for the weekend. Many can't wait for the weekend as they are already exhausted, giving their life energy to the parasites, those controlling behind the scenes. They are leeches living off your blood, your life force. They kept the knowledge to themselves. Technically, you can't blame them because they did not force you to work. You got caught in the middle of a huge web of. So, that's what I learned. Okay, this is his page. Yeah. So Christ wasn't just a story on a mountain on a hill. It's a map of your body. Your spine has 33 vertebrae. Okay, we know that biology. A living staircase from instinct, the Jacob ladder. From instinct, so the ascension is from instinctual to illumination. So he lived 33 years, Christ. Golgotha means place of the skull. The teaching hidden in plain sight, your life force is meant to ascend, to rise. When you waste your seed on autopilot, scrolling, numbing, chasing cheap hits, inorganic dopamine, you are pouring your Christ oil out at the bottom of the ladder. Semen retention isn't about repression, it's about collection. You hold the charge. When you stretch, there is this release of charge, positive and negative ions. You breathe it up the spine, so breathing with conscious awareness and not involuntary. You let it mix with the cerebrospinal waters around your brain. In the old mystery language, this refined inner oil was the Christos oil, life force climbing all 33 steps to the place of skull. Anointing the pineal center, switching on vision, intuition, inner light. Crucifixion Crucifixion, shun, atom, centos, Tion, shun, it's like atom. Your old patterns die, and resurrection is your energy no longer leaking downward but raising upward, ascension. The real work of life force energy, teaching man and woman how to guard and refine inner oil, climb the 33 steps in the life is something in you knows this is your path. Yeah, then it's about, you know, we just know that semen is like, creating child, but it's much more than that. Manifestation is the sacred life force obeying. Semen is a biological power concentrated enough to build an human nervous system, a brain, a heart, a body. It's not being about being a monk, it's being out a builder. You keep the charge, you learn to sit with the attention instead of running from it. Sit with your pain, sit with the uncomfortable things that come inside you, which force you to eat, talk, scroll, watch weird stuff. You convert pressure into vision, discipline. So it's a compressed information, drive, focus, potential. When you waste it mindlessly, you train your nervous system to choose instant relief over long term creation, dopamine over destiny. Makes sense. Okay, that's all.